Welcome to your next Sonic Rush.
Welcome to your next Sonic Rush. This is Afterline.
Afterline. Afterline.
Afterline.
The Backstage of Sound on Mira Radio.
From South Africa to North Africa, a sound that started in Johannesburg, then moved to Ibiza, London and Dubai. He played shows, worked with great artists and made hits traveled around the world. He came here, he played an amazing set in Hammamet. We are in Tunisia, we are in North Africa. This is Sairi and this is Afterline on Mira Radio. And we are happy to welcome Vanco. Vanco, how are you doing?
I'm okay, man. It's a pleasure being here. How are you?
Good. So you have played all over the world. Now you played in Tunisia at Calypso Hammamet. Did it feel different? How is the crowd, the energy?
So this is my second time in Tunisia. So the first time I came and played at, I think El Pacha. And then this time I came to Calypso. And I think it keeps getting better, man. And it feels like you don't want to leave again. The crowd is good. People are very warm and kind here in general. But the people respond really well to the music. And I think people know their music too. It's in their Tunisian blood. Rhythm.
I think the source of inspiration in music of all Africans is the same.
True?
Yeah.
Heart of the rhythm.
Yeah. Before music production, you were an engineer. How did you move from engineering into music?
So I've always loved music. I've always had the passion. I sort of like had the idea of living off my life doing music. But I knew that back home with my parents, they basically wanted me to go through the whole tertiary school. I think this is a typical common African story, irrespective of race and culture, that most parents want you to go to school, study something else. And then when you tell your parents that you want to be a musician, bro,
go get a real job.
Go get a real job. You know the story. So that was the case. But then even in the midst of that, I studied from, to get my honorary in like quantity surveying, real estate development, construction engineering, around that whole sector. And I even did my master's. I worked. So as I was studying, working, I was also doing music on the side, but at that time it was a hobby. But then, so I really had to prove it to myself that I could live off this music idea. So it's been a journey, very humbling, very grateful, and I don't take everything for granted, because each step and each booking that has happened to me and meeting people just like you sitting here has sort of like made me appreciate the journey more. So sometimes people take things for granted, but I don't, because I know where I'm coming from, not doing the job that I want. And I would lie to say I was struggling now as in this engineering, as construction is real estate. There's a lot of money in there. But then music was pretty much challenging as a different industry. So I had to surround myself, just mentally prepare myself, and just appreciating and having a leap of faith, man. So that's how I landed from being engineering, dabbing into music full time. And I've been doing music full time for about 5 years now. This is my 5th year.
Yeah, I saw this on Beatport and on your social media. What were the moments in your journey when you felt, okay, now it's getting real, like a show, a release, something that shifted everything?
From day one, from the first day I dropped my song, that was the answer. What happened is, with my first release in my entire career, this was 10 years ago, 2015, I dropped a track called Regeneration. So no marketing, nothing, not really much of social media push. The song went to #1 on Traxsource. So this is like a big platform for DJs. For those that will be listening, that don't understand what Traxsource is.
Okay, but the label supported this track especially?
No, this was my label.
That was your label.
This was not even the label that I have now. So I have a cousin of mine, his name is Ricardo Matebula, from back in South Africa. He's been like a very amazing brother for me. So he was basically my first manager back then, back in the days. And he was just basically my right-hand man, hype man, everything. So we opened the label together, but he already had the company. So I was just more like a supporting partner to that label. And then we dropped this track And then it went number one for about 2 to 3 weeks. And I had no idea what was happening because I spent so much time at work, sitting in the office on a construction site, watching people build bricks, take things up, moles and stuff. And then my friends are busy calling me that your song is big. Everyone is talking about it. All the big DJs, they're charting it and supporting it. So that was a clear indication that something I was probably heading. There was something in this.
And you didn't invest on promotion for this track?
Nothing.
Went only alone.
We just dropped this track within 2 weeks. It's like number one. And the crazy story is, I don't know if you're familiar with the word Cuba. Do you know of an artist called Cuba by any chance? Da Capo.
Da Capo, yeah, Da Capo, I know him.
So Da Capo
from South Africa.
Yes. So Da Capo in Cuba.
Yeah.
They were all like the very prominent guys, new age, before I started producing. And Cuba is more like my brother to me. We've like tribesmen. We're from the same clan, I would like to say. So he's been a good friend. And then one day he came to my studio and sort of like mentoring me. He says, and then he chose for me, he says, if this is your first single.
Okay, so you had Cuba as a mentor.
Yeah, Cuba was my mentor, my friend. I would ask him everything. And I also had a guy called Sunshine. He's now in Taiwan. He used to study at this institution called Soul Candy. I don't know if you ever heard of Soul Candy Institution from South Africa. So it's like basically a huge musical institution where they release music, and it's a school of music as well. And what used to happen, I used to miss my class in my university engineering class, and then I wouldn't attend lectures, and then I would go meet my friends at this institution, which is like downtown Johannesburg, in the heart of Johannesburg. Quite crazy. And because all for the love, and we're here now.
Tell me about the clubbing industry in Johannesburg.
We are a nation that loves music, first of all. So you born into it. You don't have to learn it. It's a cultural thing. So by the time that when you get to the club, the rhythm, the moves, the dancing moves are already in your system. It's sort of like lifestyle. And people really like clubbing. Obviously, there's different trends in South Africa. At some point, look, it's business. There's times when there's high season for clubs, and just like in any other place in the world. But people really love electronic music. And when you go to clubs in South Africa, you'll have one of the best times. I believe if you're a DJ and you play electronic music, you have to experience the South African.
And the scene there is only Afro-house, or that's different? You find tech house, you found minimal techno.
So that's why I said in my previous question, electronic music, because electronic music is a fusion of deep house, amapiano, Afro-house, melodic, all those things. But predominantly in South Africa, we had shifts. So like I said, our music comes from, we're a soulful country. So from the start, from the beginning, they were like just like in any other country, there are those, the first generation that does music, which is maybe the legends. So one of our inspiration is drawn from there, and then it gets filtered down to a prominent genre called Kwaito. Kwaito was basically a voice for the blacks, because of our history in South Africa. Crazy thing, I'm young. I'm born free. I was born after independence, but I obviously do my research. I hear my old family members speak. Kwaito, that's like the freedom music, that just like to express ourselves.
Okay.
And then it came from Kwaito. There was Qom. I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
Qom. That was another genre that came also from South Africa. Afro-house has always been there, but it's our own interpretation of electronic music. Mostly we heard from the Western, like your Louis Vega, if you remember your Louis Vega, Masters of Work.
Yeah.
So those were quite prominent back in the South African history. And then they kind of influenced their own version of Afro-house. And then Afro-house filtered down to Afro-tech, which is the new age, which is us. And there's also amapiano in the mix. There's now a genre also called 3-step. I don't know if you've heard of it. So, different genres in the electronic music of South Africa. So when you go to the clubs, the big genre, the most prominent one is amapiano actually.
Yeah, your country.
Yes, in South Africa. You have Afro-house, techno, and because we are a nation with different races, there's Indians, there's a big community of Indians, there's also a good community of Arab in South Africa. There's a black culture within us. We have different denominations too. So it's a mix. It's basically like a rainbow nation, as they say, you know. So having said that, it means other people like electronic tech. So you can have a dose of techno in one night. You can have a dose of melodic one night. You can have a dose of amapiano in one night.
I had to ask you about Black Coffee and well-known DJs from your country, but you answered me about Cuba and your inspirations, your mentors. So, do you remember the first track you said, this is it? Now I'm getting to another level, to majors.
Man, there's just been a few of them. But I would just say for the past 2 years, when I done the Water Tyler edit.
Yeah, I'm asking you about it. Why Tyler Water exactly? You wanted to transform it into an Afro-house rhythm.
To be honest with you, I wasn't even in the mindset of thinking Afro-house because I like electronic music in general. So in my head, I just make electronic music, even if people say Afro-house. So with Tyler, fun fact is my manager just told me the other day. It was a random call with him earlier last year.
Okay.
And then he tells me that he's going to help Tyler's team get a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because my manager is also he works at Sony UK and Epic Records. So it's like, perhaps I would want to do something, maybe additional production for Tyler. And then I like the idea then. I even suggested that I want to do a remix for Water. It just came out like from talking to him.
Wasn't official, it was an edit.
It was an edit.
Yeah.
So he goes like, yes, you can do it and then I can pitch it to them. I said, okay, cool. I thought it was a good song, but I can't play that song in our scene.
Yeah.
And then I was just messing around, bro. A random day, messing around. And I think at that time also, I wasn't just also emotionally okay, like beginning of last year. It was just like, you know, sometimes in life, when you hit rock bottom with other things in your life. So I was chasing this feeling, this exciting feeling in music. And I kept listening to the Tyler's Water vocal alone. Just there's nothing, no music. And then within about 25-30 minutes, I had the foundation of that song. Made it look, there's a story behind it. I even broke my finger playing basketball. I land up in hospital and then they do complications with me and then I stop breathing. There's air in my lungs and then I was out. They had to like resuscitate me back to life. And then I was in ICU for 3 days. So before I was in ICU for 3 days, like battling to breathe again, I had sent Shimza and a few DJs the first edit of Water.
Yeah.
Just like the mastering, which is the sound quality, wasn't top, but very okay, playable. So I go offline for 3 days. My family comes because it was a serious situation. At the hospital, I have pipes, I can't breathe on my own, there's machines breathing for me. And then a week goes, and then I switch on my phone. Then my phone, there's like 100 messages. Instagram, WhatsApp, everywhere it's buzzing. And then everyone was just talking about this Water song. So it sort of felt like a miracle in a way. There was just a strange experience with this record for me. That's what happened. And then when I look back in my entire career,
I remember it went to top on Hype Edit.
yes, all those things. I put it on Hype Edit. I gave it to DJs and stuff. Bro, imagine you're in ICU, go in ICU for 3 days. You're just battling to live again.
Yeah.
And then you go through physio to breathe again and walk. Within like maybe I would say a week, you're off your phone because you're just trying to concentrate in this. And this song is doing the rounds already. So by the time you switch on your phone and get back, everyone is saying this is the biggest song. It was crazy. It's like a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine.
That's what happened. So when I look back, I'm like, wow, I think this was the song.
About this major remixes and edits, you know Epic? It's the label of Michael Jackson.
Yes.
And many of major artists like G-Lo and others. You did a remix on Epic Records. How did it came to do the remix of Black Eyed Peas and Daddy Yankee? Did they call you? Did you pitch it, or just your management team?
That came through my previous manager, not my current one. So the previous manager, he's he's Portuguese, based in Switzerland. And then, he happened to be at the right time, right place, right conversation with the right people. And then I was offered to do a remix for Black Eyed Peas, Daddy Yankee. And then I was grateful, man. And dropped it. Did its rounds.
That's a good opportunity. And you looking forward to repeat some collaboration with Epic?
Yes, I'm not so sure if you remember Moby. Remember Moby?
Moby, the techno.
Yes, the from the old generation.
Yeah.
So I done a remix as well last year for Moby.
I remember, but what is the label?
It's a very catchy name, but it's not just on my tongue at the moment. But we'll revisit. But yeah, on Moby's label.
Yeah.
So the team reached out to me last year, and then I done it. It was pretty cool.
In the music game, it's not just about making music. You know, you need also to get the right people around you.
Correct.
At what point did management or public relations become important for you? Did it happen naturally, or after the music started taking off?
I'd say everything for me has always happened naturally, but it's always been about the music first of all. So look, people have different journeys in their entire career. When I look at my peers around me, when I look at everyone in life, but with this music thing that we do, it's special. I think it's more energy, connection. Like you connect with someone. It's an energy fused thing. I don't know if you kind of understand when I say energy, it's connection. So if people don't connect with your music, it's pretty much hard any manager to come connect with you. Even if we live in a life where you can get favors and stuff, but at the end of the day, the music needs to sound right.
Yeah, of course.
So this was my journey. I've always believed in making the music, and if people really like my music and consume my music, then then it can open a door to have other conversation. So with management, I've never went out looking for management. It's always been a case where with my first manager and my second, it was natural. I like what you do, so I've always made sure I push myself alone, show the world what I do, and then in the hopes of attracting people. So to where I am now, I'm now with a new manager, been for 2 years. That's Black Coffee actually. Black Coffee DM'd me at 2 a.m. a random day. He says, Vanco, I want you to work with Dumi, my new current manager. And we're here now.
You created your own label, Algra.
Yes.
So why did you start it? Is it just for your own music and your, like I say, your sanctuary? Or it's a bigger project, you will support many other artists?
So Algra, I look at it as more like a cell mutation. You know, cells mutate, they progress. But it needs to first start with me. So currently, I'm just releasing myself. And remix is done by other my favorite artists. So the reason for Algra, what it means, A means acceptance, L means love, G means gratification, and R means respect, and then the other A means acknowledgement. And these are the things that I think in life we need to love one another, we need to respect one another, we need to acknowledge one another, we need to accept one another. And gratification, when you do something for me, when I do something for you, we need to be grateful. So that's the purpose of the label. And I'm not saying I'm the best or anything, but those are the core values of it. That's what it stands for. So the plan is to obviously keep releasing music, push my vision, and eventually start releasing other artists, but based on those values.
Let's talk about process. I think many of artists, producers want to hear that from you. how is the making music process for you? Did you start about feelings and vocals, about pads, chords, or about drums? Tell me about your process.
So my process has also progressed, changed. There was a phase when I break it down into, I'd say, 3 phases. First phase in my early years of doing music, I was referencing someone that I liked. Like there's artists I liked, like your Black Coffee, your Louis Vega, Rocco, Bodhisattva. Their music is mostly groove driven and soul. So that which if affected my process then. So I'll start with the groove, with the drums. And then from the drums, I do the chords and stuff. This was way back. And then the second phase, when I discovered myself and what I wanted to actually do, I'm more of like a drums person, percussions, and melodies. And the chords come a little later. And my recent and current phase, which has been about for a few, I could say 3 years, I have no process at all. It's how I feel. So today I will wake up, I want to hear a vocal, I start with the voice. Sometimes I start with a vocalist sitting with them in studio or on a phone call like this with a paper and starting an idea, like from a conversation. And I don't really have a fixed way of doing things.
And that's how Tensani came. The vocal was first.
So Tensani, it's an idea. It's not even about the vocal, the drums, the melody. It's basically my manager meeting Aya. Aya's from Kuwaiti, and I was playing in Ibiza on a random Sunday. This is last year in September. And he calls me. He says, after your show in Ibiza, come to London. I want you to meet Aya. She's a young girl, very bubbly. She's a fashion designer. She has never recorded a song in her life. I said, okay, cool. Let's experiment, which is what I'm about. Flew to London on a weekday. I think it was a Tuesday. I met Aya for the first time. And Aya's never made a song in her life.
Okay.
She makes clothes and she's a clothing designer, fashion designer, like I just said. And I said, we made the first song. I didn't feel it. And then we're about to wrap up the studio. And then I said, then I stopped everyone from leaving. And I was like, I have a loop, a 30-second loop. Can someone, let me play it for you. And then I played for everyone in the studio. That loop, there was a voice as well, which was sang in Portuguese, Latin. I think if Portuguese, but it's Latin, Portuguese, Latin, one of them two. And then my manager goes like, this is the song. This is a hit. And then he tells Aya, can you do the same thing that this vocal is doing? So this
But in Arab. The same vocal, but in Arab.
Not even in Arab. My manager just told him, do it in any language you want. So Aya goes like, Arabic or English? We all went like, be creative, do whatever you want, however you feel. Music is a feeling. I gave her the freedom. Then she goes like, Habibi Tensani, and she's with her sister. So she's looking at her sister. I'm just playing a loop. Dun, 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 dun. It's just beats now. So we mute the vocal from Splice. We mute it. It's playing for a couple of, maybe you could say 5 minutes. And then she's looking at her sister. She goes like, Habibi Tensani. Na 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 na. Yalla Habibi, wala Habibi. And then I don't understand Arabic, but me and my manager, we look at each other. We're like, bro, can you hear this? Yalla Habibi, wala Habibi. Say, bro, record this thing. And then she jumped in.
You did the first record and no repetition.
No, just went straight up.
The first was the final.
First was the final.
And then came the loop of Ahla Leila, Ahla Nas.
It's the crazy part now. I'm in studio. She's done recording Habibi Tensani, when a little gali, Yalla Habibi, wala Habibi. Obviously, I'm not really precise.
You didn't understand what they say, but
it sounds
you feel
cool.
the vibe.
I feel the vibe. I said, this sounds really cool. As I'm arranging the song, so when I produce, I also arrange in studio, real time. Her sister goes like, Ahla Leila, Ahla Nas. She starts whispering, And then Aya goes like, yeah, we need to put that in the song. And then we ask them, what does it mean? And they say, this is something most Arabic cultures sing at weddings or celebrations, apparently. I said, okay, cool, beautiful. Put it in a song. Her and her sister, they start singing, Akhlilila Akhlanas, Akhlilila Akhlanas. They're going in. I was like, wow, this sounds cool. Just put it on the record. And there's the claps that you hear in the song. So we were all watching a YouTube video. I was trying to find something Arabic that speaks to the Arabic nation. And then the claps. Also, the claps happen to speak to South Africa as well and African culture. It's part of our rhythm, you know. I was like, okay, cool. This could be something cool. So everyone who was in the studio, we surround the mic, we start clapping hands. And someone is just hitting a spoon from the kitchen, the studio, the kitchen, and just having fun. And then that's how that break was made. Yeah.
And did you expect that it will become a summer hit everywhere?
No, I didn't. It's mind blowing. So actually, first month of dropping my Tensani, it was sitting on 70,000 streams. I was just there sitting, talking to my manager the other day. There's even a clip. One of our friends recorded this clip of me and my manager talking on the phone, and I was like frustrated. I was telling him, bro, you said to me this is gonna be a hit. I'm doing my best as an artist, and what's going on? I don't think people are gonna like it. Even people in the Middle East or even people in North Africa are not playing the song. No one likes it. So my manager goes like, relax. And I was like, yeah, I'm relaxed, but I'm not seeing results. This is the first month. And man, because I'm also like a big spiritual guy, I pray a lot and I believe in the journey. So I wasn't too hard on everything. And because my manager is Muslim by religion, so he sometimes teach me, you know, like you need to learn to surrender things to Allah. And, you know, he has his own ways of looking at life. So we exchange our spiritual level thing. Bro, I kid you not, 2 weeks later, I check my phone, numbers are going up, boom, everywhere. Before you realize, you speed up to now. It's amazing, it's crazy, and it's a movie.
The label was released on Afro Republic. That's the first ever track released on Afro Republic. Who owned this label?
My manager.
Your manager?
Yeah.
It's his label.
Yeah, so he comes to me, says to me, let's partner together. We can either drop it on Algra or Afro Republic. I said, okay, cool. Let's do Afro Republic. Because it's basically like I'm also involved there in the label as a partner. So it's a self-release.
First release and the most successful release of this summer. So we can say Afro Republic will be the label that the house of the Afro-house hits.
I'd like to believe, yeah. Because he has a very sharp NR ear. So it's teamwork.
It was amazing meeting you, Vanco. Welcome in Tunisia. I hope to see you again here. At last, what do you say to DJs and producers all around the world and public clubbers to come here in Tunisia and discover this place?
I think, yalla, Tunisia is the best, man. I'm having really amazing moments. I've had a great time in Tunisia and it sort of feels like home, man. Tunisia is kind, it's warm. And to all the DJs, all the ravers and clubbers, you need to experience a Tunisian party. Yalla.
Okay, we did expect a DJ set, but you have no time, you have your airport. This video will be on Mira Radio. The program is Afterline. So can you say a word to people who follow you on Mira Radio?
What's up? This is Vanco, live in Hammamet, Tunisia, and you're listening to Mira Radio.